unofficial Universal Orlando podcast
is a member of the Mice Chat Podcast Network. MicePod.com. Now live the movies and hear the fun.
Greetings, Universal Orlando fans. It's time for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast with your hosts, Lee, Tracy, and Darren.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 67 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. This is brought to you in association with our good friends over at micechat.com and sponsored by Be Our Guest Destinations. Now with me as usual is my lovely husband Lee. Hello.
Hello.
And our very good friend Darren. Hello Darren.
What up, Tracy and Lee? And internet.
Yeah. How was everyone today?
Good. You're not though, are you?
Oh, I've got a cold. But hey ho. Winter's coming.
It is. It definitely has come. Ooh.
It is. It got down to a chilly 70 degrees here in Seminole, and I've had a bit of a chill.
But
other than that, I'm doing okay.
I'm not sure what it is here at the moment. Let me have a quick look. It's currently 11 degrees, whatever that is in.
11.
In English.
Wow.
50 something, is it?
I still don't know when we went over to centigrade. I still work in Fahrenheit.
Anyway.
It's cold. Yeah, Hunter, you may notice, is not here.
One episode back and he's gone already.
Yep.
No, something came up. He just couldn't be here tonight. But he'll be back with us, hopefully, next episode.
Not hopefully, I'll bloody make sure he is.
He'll be dragged kicking and screaming, and he will be here for episode 68.
He's devastated he can't make it. He tried to switch things round.
Yeah.
But
things happen.
Life gets in the way, unfortunately. As a lot of podcasters say, at the end of the day, this is a hobby for us. So, life gets in the way.
So you mean I've dragged myself out of my sick bed?
Yeah.
Okay then.
You've never been in your bed? Well, since this morning. Anyway.
If it was just me and Lee, though,
We've
I
never...
wouldn't want to listen. What was that? What was that? I would not want to listen to that.
I was going to say, we've never done one, just me and you, have we?
No.
Could be interesting. Right, well, I'll leave you to it then.
Oh, God. I could talk on my own for an hour and a half. That's not a problem.
You talk on your own for an hour and a half and we're here, so... Anyway.
I talk for an hour and a half just on my own.
Poor listeners.
I'm not talking about the listeners. I'm just talking about me on my own.
Poor listeners. How many minutes are we in? 45 and we haven't even got to the news. Shall we discuss some news?
I'm trying to think if I had something to say at the beginning here, and I kind of did, but I think it might have gone now. Oh, yes. As said on the last show, the first of our bi-weekly episodes from the vault has been released. So episode 41 went out last week, and I got it wrong. It wasn't Darren's review of Halloween Horror Nights last year. It was actually the one with Tracy's haunted stories from Universal. So if you want to know any of the rumoured ghosts and spirits that are hanging around Universal Studios Florida, go into your feed. It'll be obviously like right at the beginning now rather than the last one that came out, because I'm putting them out in proper order. So it is where it should be, if that makes sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very, very good segment, actually. It was very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Even went out on our good friend Lex Wall's Anything Ghost podcast. So there you go. Yes. Go and check it out. Episode 41 is out of the vault.
Woohoo. And now your news from around the Universal Orlando Resort with your UUOP news team.
Okay, I have the first news item here. Mobile Halloween Horror Night wait times are now available. You can check out wait and show times to get the most fright out of the night during Halloween Horror Nights 23. Once inside the park, visit HalloweenHorrorNights.com from a mobile device and select wait and show times from the menu to get to the fear faster. Now, take that as like a general indication of what the line may be, because it changes like instantly, especially on a night like Halloween Horror Nights. So
And anybody concerned about internet access, as far as I'm aware from a lot of people I've spoken to, Wi-Fi is now park-wide in Universal Studios Florida.
Okay. Yeah, it was the back corner the last time I was there, and for Halloween Horror Nights opening night, and it was working really great at that point. So,
but as far as I'm aware, it's during the day as well, not just at Halloween Horror Nights.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm just saying the mobile connection was really good, the Wi-Fi connection rather.
Okay.
And that was with a ton of bloggers all using it at once as well. So,
wow. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you were at media night, so everyone would have been hammering it.
Yeah, that and on top of all the park guests as well. So,
yeah.
And it was giving me consistently good speeds the whole time. So, looks like we might have a winner there.
Definitely, they need it. You know, Disney have been at it on their Wi-Fi for well over 6 months now, and it was something that we struggled without it, didn't we, Tracy? We had that Wi-Fi hotspot when we were over there, and the last day we were supposed to be meeting up with Eric, and we didn't have the hotspot, and I'd left my cell phone in the suitcase, so we were literally having to hang around over by the Diagon Alley area just to get some Wi-Fi so we could keep in touch with Eric to find out when to meet him, and it's spotty. It was spotty as hell at best over there.
Yeah.
So, 2 stories for the price of 1 there.
Right. We have an employment opportunity for you here. Apply now to be part of the opening team at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley. Full-time, part-time and seasonal positions are now available. The Universal Orlando Career Network is now accepting internal applications from team members interested in transferring to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley. To express interest in working in food and beverage, merchandise or operations, please complete your online internal application. The guideline of 180 days in your current role will be waived for this opportunity. So there you go. Obviously that's for people who are already working
Well,
there.
I know we have a few team members that listen, and it's been out for a while actually, but it just shows you that it's not that, if they're already looking at filling roles for that land,
I would say it's
quite I've heard.
Well, they've got to do the training to get them into the characters and things, so it's going to be pretty imminent.
I've heard rumours that soft opening maybe even as early as February.
Wow.
That's really early.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about that.
Because the first poster came out, didn't it? I don't know whether you've seen it, with the brick wall thing. And then there was a poster doing the rounds. I think someone got it off Universal's travel agent's page of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade with the dragon and thing in the background and Harry, Ron and Hermione on the front. So it's they're definitely starting to ramp it up. And it's looking, if you see Eric's last photo update, they're putting the brickwork on the facades and stuff. It's really coming on.
Yeah, and you can tell they're looking for, the seasoned elite of Universal staff for this, because it's going to be crazy when it opens. They know what it was like when the Wizarding World first opened, so they're looking for people that know what they're doing for sure. So I'm sure that's why they're hiring internal first to try to fill
that makes
positions
sense.
up.
Yeah.
I wonder if our good friend will be applying or has applied. I may have to ask him.
I don't know. They've been calling me incessantly because my British accent is impeccable. Yes, and I do a mean Professor Snape.
It's hard to do a fake laugh.
From the Orlando Sentinel. Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit roller coaster reopened on Thursday the 10th, a little more than 12 hours after it abruptly stalled in a vertical position and left 12 people stuck for nearly 3 hours. Or, in other words, my nightmare.
Did you actually see the pictures of it?
Mine too.
Yeah. This is what I fear every time I go up a roller coaster. I go on a roller coaster hundreds of times every year, and every single time I'm so scared every time we go to the top. For this exact reason.
I'll be honest, I was a little relieved that I was ill in the last week of our
Let's
holiday.
Get there.
Okay, so Tom Schroeder, the spokesman, blamed the shutdown on a tech glitch. He would not elaborate. I'm not going to detail it, but it has been resolved, Schroeder said. The safety of our guests and the experience they have on our attractions is very important to us, he added. For us, there is no such thing as a routine glitch. We put every resource we have against resolving them. This 17-story tall let me try that again. The 17-story tall thrill ride, which begins with a 90-degree lift hill, shut down Wednesday after the malfunction caused its safety brakes to lock in place. Orlando firefighters were called to rescue passengers who had been stranded since about 7 p.m. Firefighters were able to move the stopped roller coaster train into a horizontal position at the top of the ride. The last of the passengers was removed by about 9:45 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah. One person was taken to the hospital after complaining of neck pain.
I bet they were.
Well, this is it. There's no head restraints.
Yeah, there is.
There isn't. There's not somewhere to put your...
Yeah, there is, because the speakers are either side of your head.
Yeah, but even so, you're going to be tense and holding yourself up, aren't you?
And everybody involved has been banned from Universal for being in the park after hours, including the firefighters. No, just kidding. Universal alerted fans to the shutdown on its official Facebook page, promising to work to understand what happened. But, I'm sorry.
I need to say something, but I'm not going to because I'd have to bleep it out.
Yeah. The ride closed again briefly Thursday afternoon. Universal would not say what caused the second shutdown, though it said it was unrelated to Wednesday's problem, which is even more concerning.
Well,
to
it
me.
is, yeah. Because at least if it was the same thing, you'd go, well, at least we know it was the same problem. Whereas if it's it's another thing.
Yeah, no, this is a totally new thing. The Wednesday incident, which was broadcast across the nation on morning news shows, is yet another black eye for Rip Ride Rockit. The $45 million roller coaster is one of the most technologically sophisticated rides in Orlando, but which also has had a troubled history. Rockit first opened in August 2009, 2 months behind schedule, thanks to repeated construction delays. Crews at one point had to replace the mechanism that prevents the coaster from sliding backward during its initial ascent. Wow, yeah. A year later, Universal abruptly closed the attraction for more than a month to perform undisclosed maintenance. The move came shortly after a warning from the coaster's German manufacturer about potential flaws in the coupling bars used to hold the ride trains together. And then in August, Universal closed the ride for 2 days to perform inspections after a woman suffered a minor injury when the car in which she was riding suddenly stopped.
That was recently, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is about the second most distressing thing that could happen after being stuck vertical, would be for it just to stop jarringly all of a sudden.
Well, I know we rode it for the first time in November 2009, so it'd only been open, August, September, October, November, for like 3 and a bit months, and it broke down for 3/4 of an hour when Raymond and me went to go on it. Because we went single rider line thinking it'd be, because I think the posted wait time was 90 minutes. So we went single rider line expecting it to cut that down. We got 45 minutes into the queue line and it broke down. And it took them like half an hour to take the car off and put a new one back on. But then even when we were over this time, it broke down one night. Do you not remember? I think it might have even been the Friday night we were in late, Tracy, because if the people are still in line, they still have to cycle the ride through. Everyone in line still has to get on it. Unless they physically close it. Right. So it was still going at like 10 o'clock at night, even though the park was supposed to shut at 8:30. But I put a post on our Facebook page. Obviously, as you've just read there, Darren, it's had more than its fair share of problems. So I asked our Facebook page if our listeners thought it was time to do a full reboot, literally strip it down and redo it, or just get shot of it. So we have quite a few comments, actually. I'm quite surprised. Thomas Wagner, our good friend Thomas, said, "You want coasters? Go to Six Flags. Tear this down, make it a themed attraction." And that last bit was all in caps.
Yes.
Yep.
Felt very strongly about that. And then our Jonathan Hopkins, he said, "I think it's time to take it out." Mr. Andy DeGenova, he said, "Like the last couple of times they shut it down for a refurb because that worked so well, might be time for a mercy killing here." A little bit of sarcasm there as well. Ryan Kennedy, he said they've been spending too much money on it for years. A full refurb is not going to fix it. Then again, it is useful to Universal as it draws the eye and more crowds. I'd give it at least 3 more years before making a decision that drastic. That's a good point, actually. Ashley Robinson, who we haven't heard from quite a while, and I seem to remember when she did her trip report, the Scott Pilgrim coaster overlay was something she mentioned way back then. Hunter, who isn't here, but he still said, honestly, it's time to go. The music is basically my mixtape selection from middle school, and the ride is really just a shell of what it was supposed to be. Our next comment was from Darren. Mm-hmm. Would you like to read your comment out, Darren?
Mm-hmm. It's the biggest thrill ride in the park. It can be shut down at any second, even if you're in the middle of the loop. I don't think they should keep it because there's some obvious design flaws, but it's not really stopping any other attractions from going in as it rides above the sound stages and such. I like the Scott Pilgrim idea that Ashley had there. Choose your enemy. That was from Darren.
Keith Chandler said, I think Rip Ride Rocket Coaster is an icon of the Blackstone's neglect of the parks, a generic thrill attraction on the cheap. Now, hopefully, with Comcast in control, breathing life into the parks, a new, better themed ride will go in its place. Milika J. Multipass, obviously I would say she's got to be a fan of The Fifth Element with that name. Never understood how it was a great ride. People should visit Cedar Point for a coaster experience. Replace it. Nicole Silver, she said full refurb. Brandon Jade, now I've never quite understood how to pronounce his name. Bowser?
Sounds good.
I was on that within minutes before it getting stuck. I would have freaked out if I was stuck straight up for 2 hours, lol. Lisa Covergrove said it definitely needs a refurb. She said she got on it once last year because it was always closed, and when it did open, the wait time was ridiculous because everyone ran to it. Also think they need to rethink the safety belt. Don't feel safe.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Temlett said, now is the time to do a full refurb on it, and at the same time get some new songs on the ride. I don't understand the hate for Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, to be honest. I think it's a great ride when it's working. Yeah, there's the key phrase at the end, isn't it? When it's working. Yeah. Diane Rhodes said, I have yet to go on it, and as much as I love coasters, I don't want to spend 2 hours on one. Rachel Bowden said, full refurb. She said refurb, but I added full on there. And Christopher Easel said, I'd vote for refurb since I've never been on it. Hate to miss out on a coaster. Matt Clark, another regular contactor of the show, he said, as a fan of this ride, I want it to stay. I enjoy it. Yeah, I want to see this ride improve because it needs to, but getting rid of it means wasting money to tear it down. What is going to replace it? They also need to make the most out of what they've spent, which is only $45 million, which is the Comcast equivalent to pocket change, and the maintenance money being put into it is pocket change. Also, consider that this ride is death-free, and all of the issues have never slowed down any project being constructed. Comcast has the money to keep up with the maintenance issues, and they have the money to one day fix it. And remember that the Wizarding World was built under Blackstone, not Comcast, and look where UOR is at now. Mm-hmm. The whole dark era attitude under Blackstone that fans have made up is blinded by the great attractions that were made under Blackstone. It wasn't the best era for the park, but nothing worse than day one, June of 1990. It's a good point, actually. Mm-hmm. Seth Crawford said, sure, it cost them only $45 million to build, and yes, that is pocket change to Comcast, but you are forgetting one thing. Universal has a very good safety track record, much better than Disney's, and failure to uphold that record would ultimately result in tons of bad PR, aka Six Flags, which in turn would cause quite a few people to change their vacation plans to somewhere else, and that's worth more to Universal than $45 million they spent building the ride. It's already been improved the most it can without totally going in and retracking the design and designing new vehicles for it, which gets very pricey. So if I were Universal, I would be counting my losses now and build an attraction show restaurant, whatever that isn't going to keep bringing PR. With Universal and Disney, it is more than just money. PR weighs much heavier. And Matt Clark weighs in again. Well, Seth, the riders were safe the whole time. They were just stuck on top of the lift, but safe nonetheless, and again, no one died. And as important as PR is, money talks in this business. I don't think there's a bigger priority in any business than making money. Plus, in order to have good PR or create good PR, you need money to promote and to continually improve your product. I agree that PR is important, and it is probably the number 2 priority, but number 1 will always be money. Tracy?
Mm-hmm. Remembering that I was actually replying to a few posts before.
Yeah.
Obviously, it all happened at the same time. You're right, Mark. Comcast have the money to make repairs one day, and I think that day is here. Yes, it's death-free, but it's certainly not trauma-free for the people who've been stuck. When I was in Orlando, I was having a conversation with Eric Davis regarding how they would evacuate if the ride's stuck in a position such as this. Guess we know now. I love coasters, but I'm not a fan of this one at all. Still, I feel it should be repaired and given a chance before ripping it out.
Speaking of Eric, he just said, rip it out. That was it. Plain and simple. Matthew Genslinger, he said, I vote for a refurb. Let's get some new songs, better restraints, and a good evacuation from the lift like a fire pole. Only kidding. I really don't know how they could make that part safe unless they tear the climb down and put it at an angle like a regular coaster. I enjoy the ride, my hands are always in the air, and I sing along to a couple of good songs from their playlist, but I understand the worries and hate for it too. Darren Smith also commented, and he said, there's no excuse for any ride to strand people for 3 hours. I'm not a coaster person. Last year I forced myself to do all the UO coasters. This was the only one I really disliked. The restraint was uncomfortable and didn't make me feel safe at all, and it didn't feel nearly as smooth as it looked. I'm for removing it, not because it offends me aesthetically or I didn't enjoy it, but for all its problems it's causing more bad press than good. I'm the only person that hasn't actually weighed in yet.
And what is your take?
6 months ago, I'd have said rip it out.
Mm-hmm.
Having ridden it again, I mean, I've said on the podcast before, the first time I rode it, I couldn't concentrate on it because I forgot to give my wallet to Tracy and I was too busy worrying about keeping hold of my wallet. So this time, me and Raymond went on it and I handed everything to you, and I came off and I said to you, I've actually got a live recording we did afterwards talking about it, and I actually say it's my best and my favourite coaster in Orlando now, and it's overtaken the Hulk. I think it's a stunning. I think it's a stunning coaster.
It's rough and the lift is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I'm gonna fall out of the back, like uncomfortable, scary. Like I like it to be thrilling, but not like I'm going to fall out of the back of the coaster. But
Darren, your local parks, Busch Gardens, why is going up that lift hill any different than going face first down on Shikra?
It's the seats.
Yep. I was just going to say, Shikra, I absolutely loved. And it,
See, I like the fact you don't have an overhead restraint, an over-the-shoulder restraint.
Yeah.
I like it. I think I think they should do whatever it takes to put it in there. I've completely changed my opinion of it.
But how would you feel stuck up that lift hill for 2 to 3 hours?
You wouldn't be particularly happy about it, but think of that poor bugger that got trapped on It's a Small World for, how long was it? 8 hours. There was people, right? And it hasn't made any difference.
Funny, but you could wade out of that.
Trapped. Now, he was in a wheelchair. There was people trapped at the top of a wind seeker at one of the Six Flags
you
parks.
Won't get to one of those
what was
either.
that? 400 feet? It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but things should only happen once, maybe twice.
By the safety mechanism.
Yeah, this was caused by the computer had a glitch and
locked out, on didn't the brick. So
yeah.
At least it would be better that way than the glitch being that the safety operation didn't work.
I know, but this is why I hate technology.
Mm-hmm.
We are far too reliant on these things.
Yeah, but conversely, it's funny somebody mentioned Cedar Point on there. Because they have one called the Top Thrill Dragster.
Yeah. Yep.
That launches you from the bottom and then it goes through a loop, like not a loop, just goes like a curve up at the top and then shoots you straight back down.
It's like stealth at Thorpe Park.
Right. Well, the thing is that there's no, all the force is put on at the bottom, like on the original launch point.
Yeah.
So up at the top, irregularly, people get stuck at the very top of that one as well.
We watched.
There's no momentum.
We watched Coaster Wars, Insane Coaster Wars, and apparently for coaster fanatics, I'm sure it was Top Thrill Dragster. There's one of those ones that they pray for the day where it doesn't have the momentum to get up to the top, and they get a rollback.
Yeah,
that's like the coaster junkies' like biggest thrill is to get on a coaster and get a rollback because it hasn't got the momentum to get over the top. That would be pretty. I think that would be quite cool.
Rollback's fine. Being stuck at the top. Instead we just start doing that bum shuffling thing.
Did you actually see the picture of it?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't stuck. The top one was actually kind of just over the hill.
That's the one you want to be in then.
Yeah. Those people were much more comfortable than the rest.
I was going to say it was Derek Bergen commented on Facebook, and he was saying, what are people complaining about? You'll be getting a great view of the Hogwarts Express station and all the new construction at Diagon Alley and stuff from up there.
I didn't consider that side of it.
I think after 20 minutes of looking at that, you'd be
Yeah.
a bit... Yeah, he was only joking, but...
I know he was.
It would be, to start with, like, the view from up there would be stunning. But I think they should do whatever it takes to keep it.
I'm all for them giving it a fair chance.
And like Darren, your point was a very valid one. You know, it doesn't really take up any park space. So what if they rip it out? They're not going to replace it with anything because there's no room to put anything there, really.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. The only contact points it has on the ground is the base station with the stairs that you get on at, and then a couple of poles here and there.
Yeah.
That are pretty strategically placed around, and it goes straight through one of the sound stages. So,
and then when you look at like the stage that was built as part of it, I think it's an excellent venue for music events and stuff.
I mean, we've always wondered why they don't have an external entryway from City Walk.
Oh, it was part of the original plan.
Yeah, well, do you know? They
'Cause
could
if
do
you-
that and just charge individually for rides.
If you go back and look at the original concept art, it was supposed to go right out over City Walk. And then they were going to have a gate in, so once the park was closed, that people could go in, who were in City Walk and stuff on nights out could pay like $2 or
but
$5
imagine
or
people who've
whatever
had too much to drink.
Yeah, that'd be
They'd
even
probably think
better.
about the clean-up bills.
That'd be awesome. But but there isn't. I'm sure the lift hill's in the wrong place. I'm sure that it's been plagued ever since they put it in.
mm-hmm.
But there you go.
There's always got to be something for people to hate.
Yeah.
As I said,
They could like do the concerts inside that soundstage, like you said, and the VIP seats could actually be on the coaster. They could just engage the safety mechanism as soon as it enters the soundstage.
Yeah.
And then you just sit in the coaster and enjoy the show, and then.
But I think it would be such a shame to rip it out. You think, Tracy, like even from our hotel room, what was the one thing on a night you could see? Rip Ride Rocket.
Yeah. I've got to say, when night falls, that thing comes into its own because it looks
stunning. The light package is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe they need to retrack it and put in new, or at least put new ride vehicles on there. A little bit seats feel a little bit more secure.
I'm sure they've put new vehicles on it recently.
They did because weren't the original ones made incorrectly or something?
I can't remember.
Something to do with the couplings.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. I mean, they've already spent 45 million on it. You know, I think they need to spend a little bit more before calling it a day. But I will be riding it again.
Oh, I think it's stunning. I loved it. I would have got on it again if I could have done. Anyway,
Yes.
I think we flogged that one to death.
I think we may well have done. Shall we move coasts? Go for a bit of glamour and some Hollywood news?
And now let's switch coasts to see what's going on at Universal Studios Hollywood.
And there's no Hollywood news. Yay.
There's never really that much, and like Norm's What's Universal from last week pretty much gave you everything that is going on at the moment. Well, he'll keep us in touch with what's going on. So.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But what we will do is continue our series of movies that were filmed on the backlot at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Hey.
We're on the D's, so I guess they gave it to me because it's D, right? So we've got Damon and Pythias in 1914 with William Worthington and Herbert Rawlinson.
Anybody?
Nope. Not heard of that one.
No.
Nope.
Well,
This one I have and actually have seen. It's Dracula from 1931 with Bela Lugosi and Helen Chandler.
yes,
You got to see
No,
that.
I've never
Lee.
seen it.
yeah,
the
it's one of the
Children
greats.
of the Night. I've seen Ed Wood, which is kind of...
No, it's not.
That's Bela Lugosi.
I will give him a big slap for everybody who wants me to.
Sorry.
And another great that I'm sure a lot of people probably haven't seen now, Desperate Hours from 1955, starring Humphrey Bogart and Frederick March.
Nope.
Yeah, not seen it, but I've heard of it.
Then
Oh,
they
yeah.
remake it. Isn't there one like from like the early 80s called Desperate Hours, or am I getting it wrong?
I
I
think
think
so,
so,
but I
yeah.
think it was a pretty drastic change in the storyline on that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, the original's great with Humphrey Bogart, for sure.
I'll have to look out for that one.
Mm-hmm.
A 1971 classic next, Dirty Harry, with Clint Eastwood and Andrew Robinson.
Everybody must have seen that.
Oh yeah, I was raised on this movie. It was like my dad's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then another great one, 1990 Dick Tracy, starring Warren Beatty and William Forsythe.
It's been a very
No,
long
I've never.
time
Do you
since
know I've never
that.
seen it?
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, it was so great. Just how stylized it was excellent when I was a kid. Like prune face with the actual face of a prune.
I forgot about prune face.
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
no idea what you're
Lee's
talking
just looking
about.
blank. I need to check Netflix listings.
Yeah, all the bad guys have like, the typical like mobster nicknames, but
All
they
right.
all like directly resemble their nickname, so it's pretty great.
I've seen some little bit,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It
I'm
looks
probably
like
getting
it's just
this
a
wrong.
comic book come to life.
Is it kind of Sin City looking ish?
Kinda.
You would say Sin City was kind of it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
but yeah.
Is it like that though? Like
I mean, a little bit. Like I said, it is stylized. Like they did want to make
Kinda.
it look like a graphic novel action comic book, like come to life,
okay?
like Tracy said. So yeah,
I just remember shoulder pads.
Isn't Madonna in it?
yeah, yes,
Yes.
Ugh. That's enough
yeah.
to put me
That's
off.
a
No,
bit
she's
much.
actually really good in it.
I think it's probably one of the best roles she's ever played, to be quite honest.
Saying that, I do like Four Rooms, and she's in that, so I can't really complain.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Then we have Deep Impact from 1998 with Morgan Freeman and Tia Leone.
Never seen it. I watched the other one.
the other meteor going to hit the.
Yeah, it's
Earth.
funny. It was on the other night actually.
I've seen it and I can't
Armageddon.
remember it. No,
Was the other one?
I know I've seen this. And I
Yeah,
can't
I've
remember
not seen it. I think Armageddon was like the action flick, and Deep Impact was more the like drama
The
side of
Earthbound
it.
one.
Who else was in that? Like there was another like a younger
There was,
actor that was in
yeah.
it. Was it like Elijah Wood or something? No. Elijah Wood will save us from the asteroid.
Yeah.
I'll just look at it all creepy.
Did
It'll
it?
fly
Are
away.
you just IMDbing
Have
there?
it is Ring. Oh, that sounds wrong.
Pardon?
What are we looking at? Deep
Attention,
Impact.
everyone. I don't want to cause any alarm.
Robert Duvall was in it.
Who?
Robert Duvall, but he's not a young
Oh.
actor.
No.
Elijah Wood, you were right, Darren.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Well done.
Oh, well, there you
See,
go.
he did save the Earth just by looking at it all creepy.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, and the next one. Wow, I'm surprised Tracy didn't get this one. Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat from 2003 with Mike Myers and Kelly Preston.
No,
Don't
I've never
tell
seen
anybody
it.
because I haven't seen it.
Oh,
It's on
didn't
YouTube,
fancy it,
apparently.
I'd be
The full
quite- I
thing's
know.
on YouTube, but he looks weird.
I didn't fancy
Yeah,
it.
he
It just
does.
it didn't look right.
It looks very creepy. I don't know why they did a live action version and
it feels really dark.
Does it?
Well, I mean, it's a pretty dark story, anyways, if you think about
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Until
yeah.
up until the very end. Just
Yeah.
think if he didn't fix everything and just left it the way it was and took
Oh,
off.
I'd like to see that
it
version.
looks bizarre.
The parents come home, kids get a beating.
It looks very
Sounds
strange.
how it should be.
They're blaming it on a cat in the hat. They're-
Yeah.
Tracy got told off on the cat in the
Institutionalized.
hat for taking pictures, didn't you?
It was an accident as well. I was resting on the camera. I didn't realise I clicked it on. My elbow or my arm or something hit the shutter. I got told off.
Naughty girl.
Wouldn't care. Didn't even get a decent photograph out of it.
That thing's awful.
It does
desperately needs a refurb.
It does. I still like it though.
Yeah.
Still like it. Well, that'll do that bit. It is now time to move on to this episode's Dead Man's Digest.
Bones will rattle, stairs will creak. Your outcome's looking pretty bleak. Thunder booms and lightning crashes, leaving boots filled with ashes. As we lay you down to rest, we read the pages of the Dead Man's Digest.
On this edition of Dead Man's Digest, we are going to talk about Halloween Horror Nights out on the West Coast, and we'd like to welcome our glamorous Hollywood correspondents onto the show. Hello, Norm.
Hey, how are you?
We're good, thank you. How are you?
Great.
It's good to finally have you on the show live rather than recording from the bathroom.
Oh, indeed.
Live from the bathroom.
Live from the bathroom, it's Norm. Expect
one-
an update.
That was,
Oh,
it's
no,
gone
that's
through my
wrong.
mind. That's it, Lee's gone.
Go on.
Oh, right. Let's get on with this before it gets any sillier. So, Norm,
Yes.
would you briefly give us a rundown of the houses and scare zones, please.
Ah, but out on the West Coast, they are called mazes.
Oh, yes.
I would be happy to. Out on
Awesome.
the West Coast, let's see here, Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood. John Murdy and Chris Williams they are a partnership, and they work together to put together these crazy, intense haunted houses. In fact, they are a little bit more gory and aggressive than the ones you would find in Orlando. This year, what they did was, in fact, the past couple of years, they've been focusing on the Latino market in Southern California and pulling from Mexican folklore and things like that. This year, they did El Cucuy. El Cucuy is like the Mexican boogeyman. And he is a shapeshifter. He can come in any form, be it, somebody on the street, an animal, or even your relatives. And, he's supposed to take away evil children. And
can he come to our house, please?
Yes.
We have one upstairs.
Well, in the maze, though, it's actually kind of crazy because it feels like, and I'll get into it in a minute, but there's a reason why it feels like a bit of a hodgepodge, and it's kind of an interesting story. Now, down on the lower lot, because of all the construction, they've had to expand out into the actual movie sets that they use for production, and down there, they have The Walking Dead, and that is based on Season 3.
Isn't that the same as the one that's out in Orlando at the moment? No
I
Safe
haven't
Haven.
been, but they have two separate creative teams for Orlando and Hollywood,
Okay.
and they met when they gain, some type of an IP. They meet and they go over and they throw ideas at each other, just like they did for Evil Dead or Silent Hill or something like that. And they go over things and then they say, okay, this is what we're going to do. But then after that, as far as building it, developing it, they go off on different paths. So the one in Hollywood is mainly just the prison with a few bits of Woodbury, and that's it. Also next to that is Black Sabbath 13 3D. That's the one 3D maze for Hollywood this year. It's all done in black lights and chroma depth and everything like that. Basically, it's like walking through a Black Sabbath music video.
Cool.
I don't think I've ever seen a Black Sabbath music video, to be honest.
Well, guess what? Me neither. But I'm thinking that's what it would feel like because there's crazy imagery all over and Black Sabbath music blasting in every room.
Yeah.
So let's see here. What was next? Then, of course, there's Evil Dead, based on the remake by Fede Alvarez, and it is behind the Revenge of the Mummy ride, and it is very good, but it's all about the gore and aggressive scare. Of course, they have the tongue-splitting girl, and they have it's just really intense. Mm-hmm. The best maze, in my opinion, though, was the one based on the film Insidious. And it was called Insidious Into the Further. And it was built in the overflow of the Jurassic Park queue on the lower lot. And it was very atmospheric, very spooky, and lots of really good scares. Then back up on the upper lot, they also have that year-round haunt, that year-round maze called Universal House of Horrors, which is kind of like, it has all the classic Universal monsters, the Wolfman.
Well, everybody's heard your walkthrough from episode 63.
Norm, reference that. But then what they call that is they kind of pump it up for the Halloween Horror Nights crowd, and that is this year they called it what the heck?
Remixed, isn't it?
Universal Monsters Remix: Resurrection. Every house or maze seems to really require that it have a colon and a description. It's and it's like, come on, guys. But anyway.
Don't forget, it also includes featuring the music of Figure. That's part of the title.
Oh, yes,
Figure,
as
well.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say, because...
which was very funny, because last year they did the exact same type of a thing where it was like a techno walkthrough, but it didn't feature a particular artist, and frankly, it didn't make a difference.
It's all dubstep, isn't it? I know I was going to plug it later on, but the season pass, the guys over at the season pass on the Mice Pod, they went through all the houses mic'd up. So I've heard the walkthrough from, and it just doesn't seem like it would make any sense because it's all proper dubstep.
You know what? I liked it. I'm just going to say I liked it. It's really hard to dress up that particular maze because it already has such an established path and sets that are up for years. These are permanent structures. So there's not a whole lot that you can do with it. They used to try to like do these vampire layovers or things like that, but it never worked. It never fully worked. So last year they decided to embrace what they were and just amp it up. And it was a lot of fun. It's not scary, but it's fun. So that's what I liked. But the music, I mean, really, come on. You could play anything.
Yeah.
So that's a summary of the mazes out in California.
Cool.
What about the outside scare zones and
The
stuff?
scare zones? Well, there was Chucky's Insult Emporium, which, I mean, it's just kind of like Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, yelling at the crowd and insulting them.
Sounds good.
Not a fan of Chucky, only because I don't find him to be that frightening.
No, I agree.
Well, one good kick and you can get rid of him.
Thank you.
Like all children.
Mm.
Disclaimer, I don't really kick children.
The views of Tracy Malaby don't
And then
necessarily
emails
reflect
come.
the unofficial Universal Orlando
Then
podcast.
the emails come. I was disgusted by your...
Anybody who's
Bring it
listened
in.
to our podcast for any length of time will know Tracy's aversion to children by now. In fact, anyone who's spent any time with us in Orlando for 3 weeks will know Tracy's aversion to children by now.
Yes. So, scare zones.
Yes.
Then at the front of the park, there was a scare zone based on The Purge, by the film by Jason Blum. And the setup is that all crime, including murder, is legal for a 12-hour period. So you have all these, crazy people running around with masks and threatening you with all manner of, objects. And, of course, there's the chainsaw, which I don't find gardening tools frightening. They're just terribly loud. So, but, they do a good job. I mean... And then my least favorite, which, feel free to give me, crap for.
I know what you're going to say.
The what was it? The clowns. Scare zone.
Cirque du Clown, yeah.
Next to, actually, the exit of El Cucuy. And on French Street. And they had all these very old school, like Grand Guignol looking clowns that were even more disturbing than the typical, circus clowns that you would see running around other haunts. And it was just very, very aged, very old school, and a little bit disturbing.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was really interesting, the approach they took. And I thought because they added a Z at the end of it, it was going to try to be all hip and edgy, but no, it was nice, and it was like a very decrepit Cirque du Soleil look, and just nasty.
Yeah, because their clowns are very stylized, aren't they, in Cirque du Soleil?
Exactly.
I don't class those as clowns.
Yeah, it was just very French, very European style clowns, just with blood pouring out of their mouths, and
As
then
happens.
yeah, I mean that goes down. Clowns equals blood. So
Well, if they get too close, it's only fair.
yeah. So then the final scare zone was down on the lower lot, and it was a mess. They called it Scarecrows with a Z,
Okay.
and they've got to stop doing that. But it was basically just stilt walkers walking around this area with crow sounds.
What?
Yeah. Stilt walkers dressed as scarecrows with crow sounds, like, caw, just running around, and you're like,
All that
this
makes me think of is Beavis and Butthead, the "Come with me, lesbian seagull." Caw.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically, come on. I mean, it was just like, they didn't even try, it felt.
That sounds a
So,
bit odd.
I was
yeah, it
hoping with the
very-
Z there that they were going to be hip hop scarecrows at
right?
least.
They'd be like, boo, yo, like that. No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
So hang on, we have stilt walkers, scarecrows, and crows. They're not actually that scary then if the crows are still around.
Turns out, no. Mm-mm.
See, I mean, we've seen the Scarecrows thing done quite well for the Field of Screams back in
Yeah, it had me
2004. It was
shrieking a bit.
awesome.
Sure, and especially if there's scarecrows, kind of, fake ones and real ones that you have to kind of
that's what it was
navigate
like.
around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But there was nothing. There weren't even any decorative corn stalks in the planters. It was just guys walking around on stilts, dressed as. Anyway,
Okay.
you've heard me.
See, I know
You've heard
something like Darren kind of commented on Orlando this year that he felt a lot of the money had been put into the houses, and as far as the street experiences went, they were good, but it seemed to be like a secondary thought, like you said, that the most of the money got spent on the houses and what was left over just got thrown at the scare zones. Do you feel it was kind of the same over in Hollywood as well then, Norm?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, because The Purge was very well put together and very effective. The Cirque du Clowns thing was great. But, yeah. See, Universal Hollywood their strong suit has never been scare zones. Because they don't have much space.
Yeah.
So,
Of course, yeah.
blink and you'll miss it. But what was there this year, 2 of them were actually very effective. So, but again, then there were the throwaway ones with Chucky, with his fog and red light and him insulting people, and then the Stillwalkers. So, yeah.
Now, you do have something completely different that Orlando doesn't have as well, don't you? You have the Terror Tram.
Exactly. The Terror Tram this year.
Yeah.
What's so brilliant about the Terror Tram is that you go down just like you would normally be getting onto the studio tour, but it takes you to a very specific pedestrian-friendly section of the tram tour that has been dressed up. This year the theme was The Walking Dead, of course, and you get dropped off near the Bates Motel set. Yeah, the original Bates Motel set.
Ooh.
You get to walk past it. You get to walk in front of it.
Which
and
we found out we're quite disappointed, weren't we? We just started watching Bates Motel. We just got over here. Quite disappointed that wasn't filmed there.
No, it's filmed in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, those are the original sets, and you walk up a trail along in the Hollywood Hills, and you come up to the Psycho House, and you can stand there and get a picture with Norman Bates, or you can proceed further into the craziness, and then that takes you through the War of the Worlds set with the massive, dismantled 747 plane crashed into a fake neighborhood, and it's definitely awe-inspiring for somebody who's never been through there. You're like, oh my god! I mean, you're just amazed at the scope. But they've been actually using the Terror Tram route that way for the past 5 years, I think.
Right.
And so, being that that's the case, there aren't a whole lot of surprises with regards to the scares, because there are only so many places they can put them. So, I mean, it's still a wonderful novelty. It's really amazing. And in fact, this year the talent on the Terror Tram, very, very good. They really had it tightened and had their scares where they needed them, and so it ran very smoothly. In years past, it was a little bit sloppy, but this year was pretty good. But still, I would love to see them try another location.
Right. Now, were there zombies throughout that whole...
Throughout the entire thing.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
did it go to the courthouse? Because I noticed on a
No,
lot of their
no,
advertising.
no, it was
Oh.
not in the courthouse. The courthouse was just next to where the Walking Dead maze and the Black Sabbath maze were. But you
Oh,
were
okay.
kind of kept from that area. The courthouse is just behind that section.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, so you never really get to go set foot in there unless you're taking the VIP tour or something like that.
Oh, I would have been bummed out because all the ads had pictures of the zombies roaming in front of the courthouse and everything as
Oh,
part of
yeah.
that experience. I'm actually looking at the website now, and even the website, the photo they have for it is in front of the courthouse.
Oh, what a
Yeah,
bummer. No,
yeah.
no, you never get to,
It would be great to
oh,
see the
yeah,
DeLorean
you know
fly
what,
in and Marty to come out with a shotgun.
yeah, that doesn't happen. But, one more scare zone that I forgot to mention was something that, like, how they get you to the back lot where the Walking Dead maze and the Black Sabbath maze both are. They take you on a secondary tram that you enter from close to the front of the Transformers ride, and you get on it, and they drive you around to a drop-off point, and they open up the tram, and you're funneled into the back lot, into the New York Streets back lot area, and there's a ton of fog and a ton of zombies waiting for you. And you have to navigate through the alleyways and everything
Oh,
like that, get passed through them to get to the mazes.
Cool.
So
wow.
that was really, really good. That was the other scare zone that I felt was terribly effective and very, very good.
Now, do you feel
So,
like doing it the way that they did it, it like alleviated some of the crowd issues, that you've had in previous years?
well, no, I mean, uh, not necessarily. The problem with Universal is just everyone loves to go. And
Hmm.
opening night, Walking Dead had 140-minute wait.
Wow.
Wow.
A what?
Yeah,
Say that again, sorry.
140 minutes?
I'm sorry, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the wait for the Walking Dead maze.
Darren, what was
Uh,
the highest wait time you saw in Orlando when you were there?
90 minutes was the longest posted wait time, and that was for the Walking Dead house as well. Um, but I don't know how long people were actually waiting there. Usually, the posted wait time and the actual wait time differ quite a bit at Halloween Horror
well,
Nights
if we're
Orlando.
if we're clarifying, that was the posted wait time.
Hmm.
Wow.
But I obviously was. There's no way in hell I was going to wait in that. Come on.
Can you
And
still get express pass for
absolutely,
Hollywood?
and
Yeah.
and that we basically we tell everyone going, don't bother unless you have enough money to pay for the front of the line pass, because it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are so Universal Hollywood only has so much space, and they only have like 6 houses, 6 mazes, and so they and one stage show, the Bill and Ted Excellent Halloween Adventure Show. So there's only so much to do to spread them out.
Now, not having been to both, in comparison, park size, Norm, what's Hollywood like compared to Universal Studios Florida, space-wise? I mean, obviously it's laid out completely differently, but
Universal Studios Florida was built as a theme park. Universal Hollywood was a movie studio with a theme park that kept growing onto it.
yeah.
So they Universal Hollywood is just a completely different monster. If you want authenticity, then that's what they have. In fact, on any given day that you're visiting the Universal Studios Hollywood park, you will encounter filming.
Right.
And you may not see them actually doing it, but the thing is, when you're riding on the studio tour, there are times where the guide has to say, okay, we're going to be near a studio or a soundstage, and we're going to need to go silent. So I can't be talking to you over the loudspeaker. So I'll come back on when it's okay for me to begin talking again. Things like that.
Mhm.
And you're there. You're there, and you can, when you're driving by, you can see inside some of the sound stages that are not being used, and that show The Voice is filmed there, and they actually filmed The Voice on the largest sound stage on the lot, just to accommodate Christina Aguilera. Hey-o! But no, it's a working studio, so it's the walking space, the actual foot traffic space is tiny, and you have the upper lot, which used to be this tiny little place with gift shops and maybe a place to eat and the place where the studio tour picked you up. It used to be that tiny little postage stamp on top of a hill. But they expanded the floor space of the upper lot, and then they expanded down to the lower lot. So,
is that space potentially going to get even smaller then with all the construction that's going on at the moment?
Well, what happened was what made things even more difficult was the Gibson Amphitheater.
Yeah.
It was a lovely venue, but at the same time, it took up nearly half of the space that was up on that lot for potential expansion. So they had to make a really, really tough decision and decide to demolish the Gibson Amphitheater in order to make more room for a theme park.
Mm.
And it's basically, it's going to double the size of that park.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you can go on Google Earth. You can look at it. I mean, you can see the space that the Gibson Amphitheater used to take. But it's not just the amphitheater. They also demolished the Curious George play area, and they were still up in the air about the Shrek thing. They're really just going through just major expansion right now. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Norm, what was your favourite house?
Insidious.
Was
Why?
that based more on the first film or the second one, or both?
It was based more on the first film, yes. But what made that maze so wonderful was its sense of pacing and atmosphere. The scares only added to it. But what was so wonderful about that maze, you didn't even have to see the film to really get into the story. Because ghosts, okay, you walk in the front of this craftsman-style house and you see things that aren't quite right and lights flickering and things like that, and you go into another room where they're holding a seance, and suddenly, this really frightening ghost pops out of the door, and tries to come after you. So okay, paranormal.
Mm.
And then everything else after that was just creepy and ethereal and just askew, and there were strange things that just made you feel uncomfortable. And so it wasn't all about the boo scares so much as it was just the overall atmosphere. Although there were wonderful, effective scares in it, overall it was just the best maze.
How was the further part of it? Because again, I know from listening to the season pass, they used because it's a weird sort of area in the film when you think it's like pitch black, literally pitch black, other than a few bits, and they actually used material on the walls to get that darker than black feel.
Yeah, it was, you really didn't notice that, you didn't walk in and go, oh my God, look at the material, that's really dark. But what they did was they seemed to, they transitioned it. You felt you were in the real world, and then you kind of go through a corner and suddenly everything is very dim and very off and very dark. And then in one scene, one of my favorite scenes in the maze, all the lights were completely off, aside from very dim lights on a bunch of mannequins that you had to walk around. Oh. And you never knew which one of those was real.
Oh.
So it was just because they kind of, have you seen the film? I mean, they
Yes.
kind of replicated that scene where he's walking through with the lantern.
Oh, right.
and you had to walk past all these things that were frozen, not knowing what was going to happen, and it gave you that creepy feeling of, like, oh man, which one is going to get me,
Because you knew it was coming.
Yeah, exactly. But it was great. So that's how they kind of pulled that further thing off. And then you ended up with the red-faced monster and his little hideout, and I mean, at that point, you either with the same thing as in the movie, you either go with it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I had such a good time watching it up until that point, but I was just like, I don't care. This is fun, And same thing in the maze, at that point, you're just like so into it, you just suddenly wander into this crazy, hideout with all these trinkets and some monster trying to get you, and you just go with it.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, being in Hollywood, what's the difference in the quality of actors between Orlando and Hollywood?
It's night and day.
Yeah, I'd imagine that you've got some pretty top-notch people over there.
Which is not to say that the people in Orlando are bad. They're wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a friend of ours just got Scare Actor of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They're good. They're really good. And to have to do that in that heat, in that humidity, with that repetition.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They are doing a stellar job. But there is a certain polish that the Hollywood actors have that you don't see in Florida. And that's I'm not saying that as a slight. I'm simply stating it as a fact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They hit their mark, and they are there, and they are in the moment, and they are in your face, and then boom, they reset for the next one. Because they're repeating their moves every 10 seconds.
Yep.
Wow. So, and they're brilliant,
So do you find then, like, one of the biggest complaints in Orlando, and Darren said it for quite a while, and to be honest, even back in 2004, it was something that Tracy and I felt, that because it's as busy as it is, it's just one big conga line, that it can be a case of you can go through a house and literally miss every scare just purely from bad timing. Do you?
Yeah, that can definitely happen.
It can still happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we encourage people to get the front of the line pass, because because if you get a bad experience through a maze, you can just be like, okay, well, let me try that again. Because maybe the pacing was off. And, you can even slow yourself down. I've done that a few times where I kind of get into a group that I know is going to be moving slow. So I just kind of hang back and just take it easy and, give a good 10, 20 feet so that the actors can kind of reset and do their thing for me as well.
You try that in Orlando.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because they won't. I tried it.
No, I've done it before. I haven't had any issue.
I tried it when we did it, and I got shouted at.
Yeah, it's not like I stopped, though.
No, I did.
No, you can't do that, or else you will get yelled at. But
yeah, you have to have some tact.
It was my first year. Come on.
You're only year.
Honestly, they need to do a better job pacing the groups.
It's difficult, though, isn't it? We've talked about it loads.
It's a very strange science, because you can only estimate how fast it will take people to go through those mazes. Yeah. Because there are some people that will just breeze right through. And there are others that, oh my God, and they slow down and they get scared. And then there's a moment where an actor is scaring somebody and having a really good time scaring them, and that stops the line. Mm-hmm. Which you can't fault them. No. Because they're doing their job, and if they're in the moment, man, go for it. But
absolutely.
It's just like, oh. So it's a very odd thing. It's precarious. So.
It's one of those things as well, that trying to pulse the houses just isn't a viable option. If you think, like you said there, the Walking Dead house was a 2 hour and 20-minute wait. If you're pulsing those houses at that point, that wait time's going to go through the roof.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. I mean, you got to keep the crowd flow going. And, when you get a 2.5 hour wait for a maze, it's like what cracks me up is it's not like you're getting onto a ride where you're going to have a sit.
No.
Yeah.
You're standing in line for 2 hours to walk through something.
Yeah.
So, it's like, oh, man. But anyway.
Now, I'd heard that Black Sabbath was one of the... Tracy's just looked at me as if to say I had a question.
No, she's every time I open my mouth. Go on.
The Black Sabbath was one of the weaker ones. What did you think of it, Norm? Obviously not being a Black Sabbath fan by the sounds of it as well.
Well, you can't sit there and go, well, I'm not a Black Sabbath fan, so I didn't like it. Because you can't help but appreciate Ozzy and the band and what they've done for rock and what they've done for music in general. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't like something, you can still appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I'm only a passive fan of Black Sabbath, but the Maze opened very strong and then kind of petered out at the end. It was taking you through just psychedelic versions of, visualizations of their music, then just kind of faded. What was sad was it went through the Iron Man thing and, went through this dark, crazy tunnel, and then they empty you out in the back of the soundstage that it was built in, and you make your way up to the front.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, that was it. So
Yeah.
there were some wonderful things to it. There were some really neat visuals, but it feels like they kind of gave up.
Sounds like it as well.
So it's not that it was horrible. It could have been a bit more, I think.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So this year's event, hit or miss?
Oh, it's definitely a hit.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. It's just they're dealing with construction and space issues at the moment, and growing pains, and there really wasn't a bad maze at the event, I wouldn't say.
Good. Was there anything that exceeded your expectations?
Yeah, Insidious.
Really?
Awesome.
I thought that was going to be the weakest thing.
Right.
And it turned out it knocked my socks off. It was just unbelievable. So
I've got a question for you then, Norm.
Sure.
Obviously, this is the first year we've really covered Halloween Horror Nights out at Universal Hollywood, and it's one of those things that Universal Orlando seem to be getting more into the IP-based houses, which I'm torn between, because I like the idea of them coming up with... I mean, the year we did it in 2004, there was not a single IP house there. It was all completely in-house created stuff.
Yeah, Orlando does some amazing original stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it seems to be at Hollywood that it's all IP-based. Is that usually the norm?
Honestly, it always has been IP-based out in Hollywood because we're out here.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of where all these people make these movies. So to be able to offer some sort of a marketing device to both the filmmaker and to the event, bringing familiar properties that people are interested in, it just makes business sense. And the fact that everyone is so close, the proximity is just... I mean, Eli Roth one year just was in town and just was like, hey, John, let's make a Hostel maze. And okay, awesome. And that's it's just stuff like that. The filmmakers are out here.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to make that connection and make those deals. And Jason Blum, same thing. The guy who did Insidious, The Purge, he's out here. He even has his own haunted house out here. And he just got with John Murdy too. Mm-hmm. So
makes sense.
I think that, and Rob Zombie, same thing. I think that it is just that it makes more business sense, and it's much easier to make those connections out here. And I think that that's why they've put such an emphasis on it. But they do have original houses out here too. El Cucuy.
Yeah, and La Llorona.
Yeah, last year's La Llorona.
Yeah.
And
that's even made it out to Orlando this year, so...
Yeah, and what was really interesting was John said that he basically sent all the sets and all the source material and sounds and everything out to Mike and just let them do what they were going to do. So I'm really interested to see what La Llorona is in Florida and what Mike did with the stuff he had.
Well, you said it was really good, didn't you, Darren?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I didn't have a base of reference because I haven't seen any of the videos of the Hollywood one, other than just like a couple of like quick, snapshots. But if it's, I would say without knowing that they did a really great job with it as far as just being a house.
If they had the kids floating face down in water, I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be happy.
As far as I know, the second part of it's different. I think from what I've heard and stuff, the first part of it's pretty much Hollywood's redone, and the second part of it's completely different.
Well, I'll see. I'll let you know.
How was Danny Trejo's voice in El Cucuy this year? Was that cheesy or was that effective?
No, it was good. I mean, Danny Trejo's voice is just like,
sounds like
it's
he smokes
amazing.
50 fags.
But
oh yeah, definitely.
The problem is that if you are walking through it, and you're hitting it, hitting the audio a bit off, you'll miss it because, it cycles. So,
right.
The audio that I did hear was great.
Yeah.
So
it
was a great maze.
Yeah, they had a house here. Oh, sorry, Lynn.
Sorry, go on.
They had a house last year called HR Blood and Guts, and they tried to do some narration for each scene before you walk through.
That didn't exactly work.
Yeah, that exact same problem.
Yeah,
where you'd hit it in, like right in the middle of talking, and then if you sat there and tried to watch it for a little bit and get the whole narrative, they were yelling at you to keep moving.
Yeah.
So
yeah, see, so narrative is always such a weird thing to do in a maze. It's just weird.
I say if you go and I'll give them another plug. The last episode of the season pass, they went through most of the houses with Doug was mic'd up for a few and what have you, so you can go in and hear the houses for yourself. But yeah, it was something that when I was listening to the El Cucuy one, that it was like, not quite sure how that strong a story works in a house like that. That actually like a narrated story.
Outside there is exposition that they play that you're kind of waiting in line and listening to from the exterior, and then it kind of trains you to kind of pick it out as you're walking through. But
it's kind of given me an idea for possibly a future project that could pick up. Everything's about downloads. Why not have something that once you bought your ticket, you get a code to download something? So there's a house where you have your MP3 player, your iPod or whatever, and you put your headphones in. That could be really creepy though.
It'd be wonderful, but nobody's going to do that.
I'll have to do that with my haunted house.
Well, then you build one, and we'll all go.
I'm planning on doing
and we'll
that.
Forget to download.
I'll just walk behind you talking.
Yeah, that's really scary.
Yeah.
In my clown outfit.
Shut up.
So, Norm, is there anything that you want to tell us about that we haven't already covered?
Not necessarily. I mean,
compared to previous year's events, how does this one rate?
It's just another solid entry. It's not that it stands out as something remarkable, but every one of the mazes was good, and it was just a good year, a solid year.
So well worth a visit then.
I would say so, yeah.
So I'm going to say then, any of our Hollywood listeners, which I know we have quite a few now, if you're heading out to Universal Hollywood to check out Halloween Horror Nights from this year, drop us a review of email, or if you're there and you've got your iPhone or whatever, record us a little review. We'd love to share some live reports from it.
Yeah,
absolutely. And if you have dissenting opinion, please share it, because
absolutely,
discussion is fun.
Definitely.
Don't forget, post your photographs on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah,
because we all would love to see what we're missing out on.
Yep, Tracy would especially like clown pictures. So.
Yeah.
You behave, young man.
We get a whole album devoted to the Cirque de Clowns.
Yeah.
You realise I'm not sleeping tonight.
If anybody can get a picture of one of the clowns just like holding a sign that says Tracy, that would be excellent.
Oh, I got it.
Pointing at the camera. There we go.
I got it. I still owe her for the wonderful gift she sent me.
Yes.
I can get more.
and I never forget.
Oh. I'm never answering the door again either now. No, I just want to say a huge thank you for coming on and covering this event for us.
No, you're welcome. It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to have you on as well, because it's always a lot of fun. Yay! So don't forget you can hear Norm on the show every other episode with his What's Universal Hollywood edition, and you can also read his excellent Universal Hollywood photo update articles and many of his other articles over at micechat.com.
What articles do you do?
I do everything in the column In the Parks, which is basically everything that is going on in Southern California at any given time. I cover Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, Universal Hollywood, Six Flags Magic Mountain. Occasionally we run down to SeaWorld, and then of course when Halloween kicks in, I am all over the map and I'm covering pretty much as I humanly can during the time given. So this year we covered The Purge, Fear the Night by Jason Blum. We covered, let's see here, we just covered Delusion, the Neil Patrick Harris produced haunted house out here. Let's see. I mean, I'm about to write a review for Rob Zombie's Haunt out here, and spoiler alert, it's not good.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many haunts out here. It's just paradise, you know. So I love it.
Excellent.
Cool.
In a world where the skies are clouded with ADRs, park ticket, and hotel bookings, one hero stands like a beacon of light in the darkness. Heather at BR Guest Destinations. She can book all of your Universal Orlando vacation needs, and her service is free to you. And if you're staying on Disney property for some reason, she can also book Universal tickets that include transportation. How awesome is that? She's also an authorized Disney vacation planner, as well as being able to book all cruise lines. So if you're planning on battling Megatron alongside Optimus Prime at the new Transformers ride, or having a Duff Brew in the new Springfield area, or planning even further ahead to visit Harry Potter in Diagon Alley next year, contact Heather at 1-800-796-6240 or via email at heather@destinationsinflorida.com today. And don't forget to tell her that you're repping the UUOP.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Now, before we wrap up, I have a competition for you.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, it is not Design a Clown.
You're a member of the team, therefore you can't enter. Sorry, Norm.
You can still.
Okay.
Oh, you can still enter, but you won't win.
You can still have a go. I'm gonna have a go.
I am not.
Anyway, it is a short story competition. Now, I would like any of you budding writers or already accomplished writers to submit your tales to me, up to 2,500 words, please, because I do have to read them all. Now, your lead-in for your story is this. The zombie apocalypse has happened during Halloween Horror Nights. How long does it take for anyone to notice? And what happens?
Oh, that's awesome.
So, because obviously time's ticking on, this first one's a trial one, so we're going to keep the timeline short. You have until Halloween, the 31st of October, to email me your entry. At Lee?
podcast@uuopodcast.com.
Thank you. Now, we have a great prize offered from friend of the show, Leonard Kinsey of Bamboo Forest Publishing. He has very, very kindly offered to read over the winner's work and offer constructive criticism. There may be more from that, but I will leave that to Leonard.
Okay.
I'm also working on another part of the prize too. I just really need to get hold of Eric to sort that bit out,
No one can
please.
get hold of Eric at the moment. He seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth. We should have had a What's Universal from him this week, but he hasn't. I think he's been abducted by aliens.
Yes. Maybe. So yes, come on, put pen to paper, fingers to keyboards. 2,500 words by 31st of October, please.
Cool.
Brilliant. Also, before I forget again, we've got something very important to say. One of our favourite people is celebrating her birthday soon. So we just wanted to say happy birthday, Rebecca. We hope you have a really special day. Well, that's going to wrap up episode 67. Thank you everybody for joining us, and don't forget another of our archive shows will be up next Thursday on the 24th, and episode 68 will be out on Halloween itself, which is October the 31st.
Excellent.
So it's good night from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
It's good night internet for me.
And it's adios from Norm in California.
Now get the hell out of my house.
Well, that just about does it for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. We'd love for you to get in touch. So follow us all on Twitter at UUO Podcast, at UUOP Tracy, at UUOP Darren, and at UUOP Eric. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/unofficial Universal Podcast. Follow us on Instagram by searching UUO Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/UUO Podcast. Don't miss a show by subscribing to us on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a review. Not an Apple user? No problem. Just find the show at uuopodcast.libsyn.com and subscribe to the feed while you're there. Send us your spews, funny schmits, live reports, and any other comments at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And come find us on the forums and say hello at our partner site, micechat.com. So thanks for listening, and until next time, remember, live the adventure.
This has been a MicePod.com presentation.
MiceChat.com